Yeah, pick a fucking team tonight, right
What's
now.
going on?
Hey y'all, it's Tru Grit. It's your girl, Miss B.
Appreciate it, dog.
Oop, you turned it
What's
off.
going on, family? Sugar Bear in the building.
Sugar Bear,
What's
can you
that?
woo woo woo?
Woo, 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 woo.
Habit, I'm gonna break it one day. I'm gonna just stop doing that day. One of these days. I can't. I can't. I've been doing it too long now. I'm used to this shit. No matter where we are. All right, y'all. So we gonna get started with the topics. If you ain't here, you should have been here. You get here late, I'm still leaving on time. That's what I said. I said what the fuck I said.
And you say it every week. And we ain't done
I mean it. I mean it this time. I mean it this time. Even if Dave's sitting here, I'm getting up like Dave. Mel, get your boy. I'm gonna give you the nod. Mel, get your boy, and I'm walking out. All right. Before we go to any topic, no matter what was asked to be talked about, Alabama, the Montgomery Brawl is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
Input.
We calling it the Boston Tea Party.
That's the name for it. So how do y'all feel about it? Did y'all?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play on it. It's a
Play on the real Boston Tea Party. No input. I know this black man got
Oh, I
something to
can't wait for
say.
this. You go first.
I mean, no, I'd rather go last, actually, because ain't nobody going to agree with what I got.
That's why we want to start.
I believe that it's more of a psyop than anything.
Why do you say that?
Whoa. Yes. Yes.
I'm glad she knew what that
My-
word
Because it
was.
was too much.
My first thing is, when he threw the hat up,
There was a signal.
what does that mean?
That
What's
means
that for?
who do you?
Really? He threw it up, not down.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, I saw a lot of punches being thrown, right? I saw a lot of slinging. I actually saw WWE. That's what I saw. Especially
when the
I
fold-up
saw the
chick.
fold chick.
Yeah.
This is again,
Definitely was a junkyard
Again.
dog move with the chair.
and see, a lot of things you don't pay attention to because we don't know unless you start paying attention to them. When these psyops happen, they do a lot of colors and codes and numbers. You know what I mean? A man had on a black and white outfit. That's the vision right there. The dude that was sitting on the ground and he was beating in his head in red and black.
Uh-huh.
Red and black is a sacrifice color.
Mhm.
When I saw, you see, but see, and that's what happens when you start talking like that, and then they don't want to think that far, right? Your third eye should be all the time, not sometimes. You got to be classified.
So
You gotta
Dave-
be good.
So basically, you saying it was all allowed. It was a hoax to give the attention
know-
to what?
Let's
get it folks
you go back into the race thing.
Mhm.
It's a race issue.
Uh-huh.
And then I heard something about the blacks, or what they call themselves, are not done. Now they're going to retaliate and do something else. That causes what? What happens with that?
Because
You
of
talking about
war.
division?
From one person to the next, it's going back and forward. It's a war now. It's fighting.
About what?
Black against white, white.
What's
against
black and what's white?
Microphone right there.
What's black and what's white?
I'm gonna tell y'all about this YouTube I saw today.
That if we dig a little deeper, they used to sell slaves right there on that border.
I'm glad you said that.
And not only that, the both names
Step
Harriet.
Step closer.
Let's spell a different way, but it was named Harriet. Before they died, they were trying to die. And the the 10 people was on the boat was like, they wasn't moving. They like, even it was
The
clear
clear
the band on the boat was clear. And they were like, come on, we gotta go in. Some people on this boat gotta take their meds. I don't think wasn't meant to be a racial
So who started recording from the get-go? Who said, let me start recording this before the fight began?
I did
Really?
see one with the angle from the boat.
So if that's what you're going to go with, right? Okay. If
Go
that's
ahead.
what you're going to go with, what kind of war is it? It's the race war? It's the white against black that you said? Okay, so I asked you, like I ask every week. Go ahead.
Once the white guy, the cleaner, when the captain, he was a co-captain that got brains first to head to heaven. He was on a boat. Somebody came and got him. He got him off the boat. 60 people died, and the other 10 people burnt him. And his mother is suing him. So I don't know
Was he a sacrifice to get the
But
fight started?
what did the media
I'm just saying
present
because
as?
it
The
works
media
there, but
presented as what?
it was a hate crime.
And as you see through social media, as
But
we
they
all
got-
have
they
seen,
feel
what is it
investigated, but
presented?
all the people got locked up.
So, okay, wait a minute. When do you see
I'm on the wrong
a
personal
brawl?
Instagram.
I don't care if it's black on black, white on white, black on white. When do you see a
Do I
brawl
stop it?
get a press conference? Why they do that? Why is it
somebody
that
fall?
important for them to do a press
they can-
conference about a brawl
But
that
the
happened on
flyer
the
is
pitch?
mainly.
Up here, when they say, right, they want to say it's a racial thing. The
But,
boat is called
Because
Harriet.
of like
They
church
used
and
to
different
sell
things. I don't
slaves there. Trump was there the day before, so people feel. You don't believe all of that just lined up and say, well, yeah, it did happen that way?
Few hours before, 30 ladies did a whole ancestry ceremony. We see no lives until now.
And they told you 30 ladies.
30 ladies.
The number 3. They play on the number, just like, I don't know what black power is. What is black?
You going to work? You going to work?
What you say? Come on, man. What you say, man? You talking on the numbers? So, okay, so the mere fact that they said there was 30 people, the same way they said it was,
Thanks.
we should come to number 3. I don't care who, man, woman, child, whatever. The number was specific. That's what I'm saying.
This is my thing. Like, how did it get? How did it get?
Don't get caught up in the race thing. Say what? So this was yet another coincidence. Is that what it was?
Could it possibly be a coincidence,
No,
David?
no. Coincidences don't exist. They don't exist. Coincidences don't exist. For it to be a coincidence, it has to coincide. So it just didn't happen. No, we're not doing that.
Real quick, Tru Grit live for Burn One Cigar Jazz Lounge, 5308 Edmondson Avenue. Everybody that's jumping in the live, come on in. Get you a cigar, have a seat. Let's talk about it. Back to the brawl. So what David had said was, it wasn't coincidental. It was all by design.
All by design.
Even though Malone just said that the dock, the boat name, all of that, she still don't believe it was.
A coincidence.
But everything she say sound like it went with the design of the situation, right? Like it was meant to all happen right then and there.
Because it's going to play
Come
on
over here,
your
Lisa, so I can
emotions.
hear you.
There you go. You get that microphone. It blows your emotions. That's all.
think,
Energy hall.
I don't think it's planned.
Uh-huh.
I think everything that we see is visual and at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So at the moment, they were parked there while the boat was trying to dock,
Uh-huh.
and when they saw the masses in attendance, then they took it as privilege. So they stayed there and said, wait.
So basically the opportunity presented itself.
Wait for what?
Wait until we get ready to move. And so the attendant up on the boat, he got off the boat to ask them to move because they need to dock. And that's when the altercation started.
So how did the altercation begin? Where did the fight ensue from? From what?
From them not wanting to move.
So they didn't want to move, so Slim didn't throw a fist until he threw his hat in the air. Then European threw a fist,
No,
right?
he got hit first.
Huh?
He got hit first. The white boy attacked him first. Then he threw that.
Okay, so why you throw the hat in the air, man?
I think it was this.
Maybe he did that. Like, man, I'm sick of this
Hold
shit.
up.
I'm going in.
So what he said is,
Out of frustration and right.
when he threw the hat in the air, basically what he was saying is, oh, I'm off the clock now.
That's what I agree with, Touche.
You see, guess
That's
what?
how I took it.
Watch this.
Yeah.
And when you look at it like that, initially you would, right?
Yeah.
But you always have to look deeper behind that. Because initially, yes, I would say the same.
This nigga say, I'm off the clock. I'm ready to fight.
Yeah.
But nah, you got it's deeper than that.
I think.
Okay, watch this.
Yeah. Malone said that was the Batman signal going up.
For who?
That was the Oodie. Well, I don't know. I seen Young Star jump in that water, so he called some fucking body when he threw that hat. It was a signal for something.
Sometimes throwing up your hat or doing something like that, it's kind of like you. Listen. It's a sign of like restraining yourself because I could have banged you in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at work. I'm frustrated. I'm throwing up my hat or whatever. But he had already created a scene, so he knew people was watching. So he thought of his hat to say I'm off the clock because now he got these other people that's on his side watching. So he like this.
This is it. So it was like
So everything
in a moment
line
of
up just like that. Everything just happened to
No,
line
I think
up
I'm
in that way.
gonna say this. I think it was one of those. It was a crime of opportunity, right? So it was a
It's a
situation.
perfect storm.
It's a situation. No, but hold up.
The perfect
wait a
storm.
minute, Dave. Let everybody else say something.
The reason I don't agree with the perfect storm is because we don't usually show up like this. We just sit there, we'll record, we'll watch, but we never show up like this.
Show
This
up
was
like
the
this and
first-
go all in, then
Yeah,
everybody
this-
go
this
all
is
in.
That's true.
Name a time.
Freddie Gray, we showed up, as they say.
No, how long
George
did it
Floyd,
hold up?
they
No,
showed up in the streets. They
No,
did
no.
not.
it was happening.
When Freddie Gray situation, the
Freddie-
riot started,
when
that
Freddie-
didn't
they
start
went
right
in
when
the
that
streets.
happened.
All right, so time out.
Were they in the streets?
No.
Yes or no?
Time out.
They were in the streets, but it weren't
So,
for that initial reason.
What was it for?
When
on.
those children started rioting during the Freddie Gray situation, the city itself decided to cut transportation for subways,
Yep.
buses,
And they
and
stood
so
up,
on
right?
routine. So what made the
But that was-
children?
that
Let me
was
finish.
after Freddie Gray.
Excuse me, please.
That
Excuse me, please.
Thank you.
What I'm saying, no, this was all within the same
No.
situation.
It was within the same situation.
Thank you. So don't cut me off. Let me fucking talk.
I'm
Let me
agreeing with
fucking
you. I'm
talk.
agreeing with you this
No,
time.
you're not, because you cut me
I am.
off like to say it wasn't. It was all in the same thing because I followed it. I went to the location to follow this because I was so overwhelmed because there was so many children who were, all schools now are you're not zoned to your own neighborhood for school. So when they said that these children could not get
Home.
how many fucking kids that went to Douglas, Coppin, up to the school that was up Warburg at the time, could not get home cross town? So when they decided to shut down Mondawmin, which is a terminal for everybody to get in every direction, is what made the children start going off.
Absolutely.
So when the police decided, oh no, we're gonna start a line here, like Gwen Falls, and push them back, They pushed back.
But they stood together, right?
And they stood together.
Tuesday says those things didn't happen.
No. I said
What I'm telling Touche is
they don't happen like that all the time. We watch and we commentate. We don't usually stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Now
I'm just saying that was a situation where they all stood up.
The kids.
I want to read this comment when you
stood
finish.
up, and then the adults followed. But that was because, like she said, the city
It was in a hostile
shut down
situation.
their ways of transportation. If they would have just let them kids go home, none of this would have ever happened. So I do believe in that situation, that was scripted. They wanted that to happen. They wanted. They did. Because there was no reason for them to shut the buses down. There was no reason for them to shut down the Mondom and the subway. It was no reason for none of that.
But what they call themselves is shutting it down, the whole movement for whatever was going on as far as what happened in the situation. They did. Let me read. Can I read some comments real quick off of Instagram? Rodney Pierce said, hold up, let's remember, it's not Baltimore. The issue is the white people in Alabama are used to stepping to black folks with no consequences. And no matter the reason, it began this oppression. Being answered, you're seeing the consequences of 400 plus years of Jim Crow.
Is the oppression against
now
Negro, colored, African American, black, or ADOS, Brother Rodney Pierce? That's what I want to know.
First of all, Rodney Pierce, I'm on your side.
I want to know that first.
Keep tuning in.
Now, one of the realest statements that was made out of this whole thing was, we are not prepared. We not. No. They got us outgunned by a whole lot. And that's the real, that's the realness that everybody, that's the real.
But they don't have black people out hard. Black people got heart when they want to do something. When they want to, black people got heart. The thing
this generation right here, they not smart. They
ain't smart. They got some heart. This generation right here got some heart. You understand what I'm saying?
But a lot of times what we got, we it's funny how we look to our kids to lead the way right now. And that's what's really doing it. Because those guys were younger guys. That's the kid that jumped in the water was 16, 17 years old.
They look older to me. But I know that young man that jumped in that water was clearly a kid.
Right.
I'm talking about the ones without the shirts. They was in their mid to old 20s.
Yeah, they was 20 and old.
They was in their 20s and 30s. They was a younger demographic. Now, the dude, the Qs that had the purple shirts on and the man with the chair, they were grown-ups. But it took the kids to lead this on, because once that 16-year-old boy jumped out there, because if you notice, the first security guard that ran down that, walked down that ramp, he took his goddamn time. And when he got down to them beating up on his man, he was just trying to, no guys.
He was like, stop, don't, no, don't.
They took their time.
You did.
They took their time.
You did.
Why was that? Because they might be stuck. I don't know. Yeah.
I saw WWE.
Rodney Pierce said, period.
That was the swimmer. He slammed somebody.
Rodney Pierce off of Instagram stated, people of color, period. You're not from the Deep South.
But why they always run down there, though? Because during my generation, the older folk, they all, we going to our house, we go down south. Nothing wrong.
We going home. They say we going home.
And when I go down south, I see plantation this, plantation that, bop. Ain't nobody changing nothing, but you running down there. Please explain to me why. I'll let y'all start. While you Negro, colored, African American, and black. Unless you ADOS. Hello?
I'm trying to.
Help me out, please.
I'm trying to recall what I saw on Instagram
I'm just trying to
today.
understand, why did we run, if the South was so bad as they claim, right? And as historians present it, why did we run back down south and names ain't changed? it still say plantation X, Y, and Z.
Why they didn't go back down there and change something?
Right or wrong?
Make something different. Real
When
quick,
last time y'all been down?
Rodney Pierce said, David, you can't change
You know
your
what I'm
breed.
saying? And it's there, but no one is complaining. The same people you said that's fighting on the pier, swam in the water, nobody fighting about that. Why?
That's not. I can't disagree with that. Yeah.
Help me out.
That's a good point. I can't dispute that because it ain't nobody down there fighting. Ain't
So
nobody down
again,
there
the situation here is a play on your emotions to get the race right. Because here's the thing: if everybody is together, ain't shit they can do to us. Nothing.
That's 100% true.
Nothing.
And that's what I said. We're not used to saying.
Okay, so
We're not used to
watch
saying
this. When they said we came together as black people, yeah, we came together. You know what I would have said? I want to come together as Negroes. Hello? I want to come together as colors. Hello?
So,
Here's the thing. If we allow that change to continue to happen, we ain't got shit to fight for. Because we can do whatever we want to them if they accept whatever we tell them.
we can't hear. Lisa, just take the mic over there with you because
Hold it.
I want to hear what she got to say because she got a lot to say on it.
Right.
You can take it.
We said weeks ago, change, unfortunately, in the African American community.
What is that? What is that?
In the black community,
See?
in the melanin.
Here we go.
See?
Let's make it plain. In the poppin' melanin community,
You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
comes gradually,
mhm,
eventually.
What comes
It's
gradually?
not immediately.
Change. Right.
Change.
yeah.
Do you think that's by design or by choice?
It's both. It's
Both.
both because so you gotta understand. I think a lot of us are scared of what's next, right?
Right.
And because we're scared of what's next, it's nobody to take that first step. Because
And I think that to take the lead.
yeah,
What can I ask you this? If we're going by history, and if I run, you're going to cut not my foot, you're going to cut half my foot. If my wife run, they're going to whip her 30 times. Right?
Today?
Then,
Right.
so I say that. I said it to say, because you said, we're scared. You said, Touche said, we're scared of what's next. If they cut my foot off, if they whip my wife, if they kill me, they rape me.
She
rape
didn't
her,
say
whatever.
that they're afraid of what's next. She said they are afraid to take the lead. Like we said with the young people today, they got more heart. They got more heart than it's been in a long time. So they're not afraid to take the lead. She's saying a lot of folks are afraid to take the lead. This man had to get shown enough pop how many times before he even took his fucking head off, let alone fight
Okay,
back.
let me ask you this
I
then.
think sometimes we are catapulted in taking the lead rather than just taking the lead.
Let me flip the script. How many in here celebrate Valentine's Day, Christmas?
We did this.
Thanksgiving?
We did this.
But did you ever?
I'm answering the question. And that's beautiful, right? Here's the thing. If you're not willing to get whipped, shamed, raped, your foot cut, you're not willing to do that, but you're still not willing to not buy that gift on this bullshit holiday. Because you don't want to feel some kind of way.
So basically
don't
you
want nobody
buying.
looking
So
at you.
basically you buying into what their method of madness.
And always around.
That's not true.
Let me go real quick, Rodney Pierce. Let
You can
me.
take something that's negative and turn it into positive. You know what I'm saying? So what the devil meant for bad, God turned it into good. So you know what I'm saying? So
And
Let her
sister,
breathe.
guess what? You're right. But guess what? Here we are.
better.
How?
Than where we were before.
No, because you willingly give yourself. Willingly.
Before, you didn't have a choice.
You always got a choice.
Listen,
You always have a choice.
Can we get to marriage licenses real quick?
I'm
Before we go any further, let me say real quick to the people that's jumping on from Instagram, 5308 Edmondson Avenue, Burn 1, Cigar Jazz Lounge. We out the back in the courtyard. Purchase a cigar, come on out. Real quick, Rodney Pierce over on Instagram said, damn, please look at the construction of the South in the social makeup. Blacks are centered in and around the cities, but in most of the rural South, it's business as usual. So, and I hear what he's saying, but
That's true
right, but
Because also what I read, the people that were on the
Hey,
boat that
Keys.
started the fight,
mhm.
they own a mart, a mini mart, right there by the dock. They have a lot of other properties where people come in and buy food. So you gonna hurt them, stop going, stop supporting them.
Thank you. Because my thing is this, like David mentioned before, everybody say they going back. You going back to change what? You done left here. Everybody went to North to make the money. You made the money, and you went back to do what? To change what? What is different? What are you doing different? You got the money. What the fuck you going back there for? To still live on the Smith's plantation?
I can tell you why. I can tell you why. If you walk down the street, I cannot think of the flag from there that's on top of General Lee. The Confederate flag. That was our flag first. That's why we went back. But they didn't change nothing. So I'm not knocking them going back. That was our flag first, not theirs. But why you going back there and the words ain't changing? You ain't making a fuss about that? That's not a beef. And if you don't believe me, look that up when you leave. Mm-hmm. Welcome. Yeah, that's the struggle right there.
And I actually this summer I've been working on a program called Next One Up, all boys. Tutoring them in math, but also to the bridge class, meaning giving them tools to transition successfully from 8th grade to high school. And so I'm trying to inject life into them, letting them know, hey, at this age, guess what? They're already watching you, but right now they're really paying attention to everything you do. I'm trying to let them know that every decision you make from this point on can affect you for the rest of your life. The struggle I'm seeing, kids don't want to listen. They think they know everything. As soon as I try to interject and tell them something, this happened to me when I was young or whatever, oh, here you go. Times are different. They don't want to listen. I try to teach them, like, technology's great. I mean, we're here. Everybody's listening to you for technology, but technology's making you stupid. Miss Brewer, why you gotta say that? Because it is, because you don't want to think for yourself. Anything you want to know, hey Siri, hey Alexa, hey Bixby. You don't know how to think for yourself. I'm dealing with rising ninth graders that don't know how to multiply.
They don't even teach them how to sign their name anymore.
So the point of all this is, you're like, what's different? What's changed? Do I think we're better off? No, I don't, because things are cycling back. And when we had leaders before Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, it's like we don't have any leaders now.
There's no leaders now.
Because the kids coming up are not even equipped to do that.
That's by design.
It is by design, and I told them it's by design. And I'm straight with them and say, y'all, I said, the system is here to fail y'all. I said, they want you to do your best to make them some more money. Yeah, they'll let you get some money, but they also wait for you to mess up. Because as soon as you mess up,
it's natural.
You're going to have to pay for it. So it is by design. I'm trying to get these kids to realize that you got to get your mind right. I'm trying to get y'all to learn how to think for yourself. But most of them are not hearing that. They checked out. They worried about their TikTok. They dancing all through the class. I'm asking you, what's 7 times 8? All the kids are athletes. I got football, throwing in multiplication from 7 times 8. They count on their fingers. They don't know basic stuff. So it's like, how are they going to lead us anywhere? But they're not even listening to basic stuff to better themselves as far as education. We can't evolve because the kids are not, they're not checked in. They literally think it's a joke.
So how do you switch that?
But you know what? You started off by saying the kids know everything. They think they know everything, right? Where I agree with you, but when we was kids, we thought the same thing. The difference is they got that information in their hand and still refuse to look it up.
That's the difference, because we at least listen.
They get the instant gratification, so they're not checking for nothing. We knew everything, right? But then we still had kids before marriage. We had kids before whatever. We had our trials and tribulations because we thought we knew everything too.
We knew how, or we were taught how to go get the information. Now,
That's what I'm
right
saying.
now, they don't know how to get the information other than going on social media.
They know how to get it. No, I disagree with you.
Social media, technology away, they do not know how to get
Pick
it.
up a book and read it
Now,
and say, here
now, let me
it
ask you this. If that's the case, whose fault is that? There you go. There you go.
goes. Right
So
there.
that's not their fault. Now here's the hit. My kids will plan an event, right? I said, oh, I looked this up, and this was when it was in middle school and high school. I Googled this, I Googled that. So why you ain't Google these problems and get a better grade? Why you ain't Google this situation and get a better paper to present in school? So they have the access, they just choose what they want to go on.
Well, like you just said, even with us, you still have a tendency to even do your own thing. You gonna be a listener or no? Like you said, in our generation, we still did sex before marriage. We did a lot of things, even though we were taught different. These kids now, they not even fucking listening to get it.
They don't have to. Well,
Keeping them dumb. Because now we got AI we're fighting with.
that's the problem.
AI.
Yes.
I need you to write me a paper on how to make a kind of upside down paper. And it'll write it for me. I need you to type the exact problem I need them to solve. And it'll get
So the thing is, like, what would be the hint to fix that? So now the adults have to go one better, because if I know you're gonna walk in my fucking class with a paper that you Google and Google wrote the whole thing, I gotta take my initiative the week before, Google what she gonna give you. So when you bring it, I can tell you, oh, you got this shit right offline. I don't see none of your own thought into that. So the thing is,
they've gotten caught for it. We're catching it. What I'm saying, it's not getting any easier because now they got all these tools that makes it even easier for them. So it's like, where do you catch them to the point where you get them engaged and they finally they understand?
The parents in our realm stop saying "fuck them kids." That's weird.
that's where you stop.
'Cause I see too many friends on my page saying "fuck them kids."
It's church
Why the
for it.
kids fucked up?
It's search for it. It's search for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm saying, how do we fix it? And I see it every day, and I'm like, I don't know how
You
to
have to
fix it.
try harder. That's all you gotta
It's
do.
really no method. It's really no method to the madness. If you just gotta try harder, you gotta actually be in the home. I feel like if the parents was held a little more accountable for what the dumb shit their kids do, then they would be a little more stricter in the homes. Like, it's really no method that you can write down to say this is how we fix it. If the fucking parents were held a little more accountable, that's the only way you can fix it. They not listening because they don't have to. Why? Because at the same time, I'm smoking the blunt and I'm passing it to my mother, and she passing the shit right back. We good. That's my homegirl, if nothing else.
So the thing is, how do you make the parents accountable? Because just like I told the kids, I said I taught them about good habits, bad habits. I said your whole life is a trail of habits. You have good habits, you have bad ones. When you have the good ones, they work in your favor. The bad ones, I'm giving them tools on how to change the bad habits so they can progress in life. So my thing is this: if they're not listening to you, if they're not engaged, if they think everything's a joke, if they know they can go on social media and get their answer to everything, they're not connecting the fact that this is serious. This is life skills I'm trying to teach you. And the thing is, their parents are only teaching them what they know. So if your parents, all they know are bad habits.
No, their parents only teaching them what they got to.
Stop
Because their
procreating.
parents know
Ain't
a
nothing
lot
to do.
more, but they're only teaching them what they got to get by. Because their parents, I'm quite sure, if they at my age, your parents taught you some shit. You knew some shit. Even if you ain't know the process of let me put my lotion on, put my sock on, put my shoe on. You know the process. These kids today will put on their fucking slippers and go right out the
Yeah,
door.
that was
They
it.
don't even have a 1, 2, 3. I feel like it's really no 1, 2, 3 method other than to penalize the parents in some kind of way. I don't think there's an answer or no method to the madness of what to teach other than penalize the parent in some kind of way. Nobody taking your kid to jail. I'm taking you to jail. It's up to you how
can't-
idiotic your child is.
But you can't do that because the system was broken a long time ago. And so what the system has done now.
So what do we do? We give the parent a hug?
No. Hell no.
Was it broken?
Listen, the system was broken because what you did
Okay.
is you took the power, the system.
What broke the system?
Hold on, listen. The system,
What broke the system?
the government.
Listening to
once
the system.
No, once the government got involved in your household, it became a problem. Once the government started giving the kids the power,
How did that
is
happen?
where the parent.
Because the parents allowed that to happen. Touche, I get what you're saying.
How?
I get what you're saying. Working with young people, I understand that you went from you could beat the kids. You couldn't do the corporal punishment. You could open-handedly spank your child twice on the butt. That's as much as you could do too. You can't do nothing or you'll be locked up. That's only when you allow them to. My sister is sitting right here. Every child, niece, or nephew in my family know if you in trouble, Ronnie coming and she fucking you up on sight. That's just what it was. Cause you gonna get what I say. Ain't gonna let the police tell me not to beat y'all. You
Yeah,
crazy.
But that's y'all. A lot of people don't
But the
do that.
police
And
will
that's-
tell you.
Go ahead.
Change is when we work together in numbers. Parents have more control than they think. Yes, the government is making all these rules, we can't do this, we can't do that. If you get all the parents together saying, no, that's not what we want, they have no choice but to change it.
It's what is what they want to come together on. Because when they couldn't have, I hate to say it, but I got to, when you couldn't get abortions like you wanted to, they came together, they fought it, and you got your abortions. And then you used the fucking card as a membership. It was a contraceptive at that point. It wasn't even oh my God, this person has been raped. So now it's been taken away again. Parents know what to come together on. So you're right. If you don't come together, then your household going to be what it was. I never sat down and thought about the method of getting the license to marriage, to be married until I sat down with Dave a year ago. And it made me really think about it. Like, there's a lot of things, like Nikki said, we don't come together to stand on what we want to say and what we want to believe and what we want it to be.
And the family dynamic.
I apologize, y'all. I'm going to get back to this. Okay, give me
a
a second.
lot. Because it's all about
Oh,
time.
drastically.
Because back in the day, the father was the disciplinarian, the mother was the educator. But now the mother have to go be the breadwinner.
Yep.
She got to be, so she don't have time to do anything but drop the kids off to the daycare provider that now becomes the mother.
The mother.
The mother becomes the disciplinarian, and the father.
But we also, back to what Nikki just said, we also know how we got there. Because you allowed the system, and they got together and they fought for what they wanted. So did they want these men to not to be in the household and and women rights and we're going to be equal? You fought for it, you got it. Now deal with your fucking kids. Flat out. It ain't no whole lot to that. There's no whole lot to that. Come together and, yes. You should come together for everything and not pick and choose what you want. Because now the family dynamic is all screwed up. And now they wonder, oh, well, what these children, what we finna do? These kids don't listen. I can't say, I'm going to child support. I'm going to child support. That's the answer to everything. Child support. And the only reason they want you to come to child support because they get a cut. So, ladies, you don't even see where they still working you to work you. They on your back. Come on, where we going? Child support, yep, you want more money? We're going to get more money. He just got a 5-cent increase, you're going to get a $30 increase. Women don't even get they being worked enrolled.
But if you refer to your child as a kid, your kid is a baby what?
We ready to go through all of that, Dave? Come
Yeah.
on, it's hot. It's
What
hot.
is it?
It's hot.
Baby goat?
Let's call them children.
Baby
Let's say
goat.
children. Yes. We're not gonna
You
call
call
them.
your child an animal. And you wonder why the systems do
What?
what they want to do with them because you
I think they
allow
do.
them to call
To
them
call-
what they want.
Rename them.
When you sign that birth certificate, yes, sir.
I just want
Nikki, don't go.
to add a little bit to the conversation
Please.
that nowadays, like, the parents are younger too. Like, I don't have children of my own yet, but I was an educator in a high school. So, like, I noticed that a lot of parents nowadays, like, was like around my age. Like, I'm in my mid-30s, so, you know, it's different when, you know, I grew up with, like, my grandma and my other parents, like, you know, and they were from a different generation. Like, I grew up with old school values, but these kids today are being raised by their grandparents solely. So, and if they do have their parents in their life, like, typically, unfortunately, they don't really have their father in their life, and their mom really is kind of all over the place. And I don't want to generalize, but, you know, it's just a lot of younger parents nowadays. So,
We say both, so that's what I do.
yeah, so most of the values and certain
Facing all out the
traditions
window.
and like,
They don't have
we
them.
don't have that anymore. So it has to be some kind of like bridging of the generations to make sure that, you know, the younger kids now are getting a certain level of you know, I don't know, I'm trying to find the word like being
Ancestral
instilled in
knowledge,
certain-
respect,
yeah,
and
Values.
value.
certain
How
values.
did
I-
that breakdown happen, though?
Right, because I wanted to say what this what I
But
want
your
to say.
parents got the value, like you just said.
But they don't though.
Your parents, no.
Well,
Your
no, wait
parents
a
got the
minute,
value.
because grandparents,
It passed
great
it
grandparents, I mean, was married. We went through
You go through?
ancestry. We went all the way back to like 18, 20 something in our family, Tammy.
See?
And these people were married young, and the parents just signed and said they was 18. So the babies were already always having babies. Let's be clear, but the values are different.
Please.
Our grandparents, they grew up.
Rodney
they
Pierce, I'm
got
sorry.
Very young. They got
sorry.
involved in, you know, meaningful relationships young, out of a need for survival. And like to be able to thrive, like they was like, yo, we gonna get together, we gonna get married, we gonna get some land, or we gonna get a house, we gonna raise a family. Like,
The value was
whereas
different.
nowadays it's a lot of individualism, and people are not thinking about
Sexting, they just sexting.
Well, that's
for the sake of you know, building.
Can I add on what you were say right there?
Yeah.
Because everything you said is a positive, and guess what they did do? Whatever the issue was, they stuck to it. We're gonna rock it. However fucked up it
But
is,
now it's
we
so
gonna
easy to
ride
be like,
through
oh,
it.
I'm out of
You know what I
here.
mean?
Oh, we ain't together. Oh, I'm divorced. So we broke up. So,
And
you
it's
know,
like-
it's so easy now.
Dating and shit like that, it's like you just like swipe like
Yep.
it's like we got
Swipe left, swipe right. Swipe left, swipe right.
You meet something back in the day. I mean, I don't know, but I'm assuming back in the day, when you meet somebody nice, you like, fuck that, I'm gonna deal with this person because like they somewhat got their shit together. So
You had to get to know 'em. You had to
make it
court 'em.
work.
You had to
Like, you know what I'm
understand.
saying? Like,
Yeah, it was different.
people were searching for like the perfect person.
Yeah.
Right.
In this very surface level. Like,
Yeah.
That right there, but that part right there is the important part. Everything is surface level. So
That.
even
That.
one of the things where the values
That.
went out the window was because we thought we had enough. We thought they gave us enough to thrive. And so that was enough for us. We got happy with the little crumbs they kept giving us and stuff like that. So we allowed making a little bit of money, we allowed that stuff to become the important stuff instead of our traditions, instead of our families working together. You don't have that no
For a
more.
reason.
Most
Like
of the
like he
time-
just said, everything
most of
is
the
right there
time,
on
your
social media.
sisters and your
All the
brothers,
details already
Once
there.
y'all move out the house, y'all go y'all separate ways. And y'all get together when y'all get together.
Right.
But ain't none of y'all building nothing together.
And that's the
Years
problem.
ago, you would have a cousin over here that got this land, an uncle over there. The family would have land in all these areas,
Yep.
and they would kind of stick together and they would grow together as a unit. Now you don't have that. Now we came from the hood. The first thing you want to do, is move out the hood. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Blame it the part you missed. You part you missed.
What we're not going to do
God be truthful all the
is
time.
just move past this motherfucker.
Because I did
But
it.
that's what
Can you rewind that and say that again, please, sir?
I mean, it's true. You look.
What did you do, sir?
I moved out the hood.
Where did you go, sir?
I'm in Brandywine.
So so let me ask you this. Why are you even discussing our issues? Take your ass back to motherfucking Brandywine.
Because understand something. I grew up on Curtin Avenue. My mother worked at Lafayette Market. I grew up around Old York and Cater. The hood in Baltimore City gonna always be.
Come on, man.
Be my truth.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? My whole family was from West Baltimore, and then we moved to East Baltimore.
You coming back?
So fine.
Right?
Eventually.
Fuck, yo, this nigga coming to the city. Be where you at, because I'm only going to be here 5 minutes. I'll let you know the next location when I move. But it's true. People dynamics are totally different.
When I grow my business and I do mentorship, I do it here, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Giving it right back.
I find a way to give back here. I ain't doing the stuff that I do for Baltimore City and Brandywine. I'm just not. Because I feel like I made it out of Baltimore City. So
because I even see when you do stuff in the city, you and your friends, y'all kind of dress alike. Remember y'all had the denim outfits when we was at the comedy? Sorry, I had to do that. I just had to go.
So, how do you explain to your mentees, right?
Yeah.
That you grew up around block.
I got
block. And when I drop y'all off, I'm going out Brandywine.
How do I explain that?
Yeah, how you explain that to them?
Because it's a goal. You want better. When you want to provide better for your children and your kids, you got to do different things. Because you can't. And that's where I ended up.
How far is Brandywine from Baltimore?
About an hour, 27 minutes.
Precisely.
Yeah, about that.
It's a Baltimore County just Baltimore County was too close. It's too close, man. It's too close.
I had to move in case y'all start swinging. Because I hate coming directly at people without standing on my feet. But this is what I want to say to ask that I didn't hear you answer. When you do mentor, when you come back, when you go to the hood here in the city and you mentor, how do you explain the dynamic of why you moved away and why you ain't Mr. Touche from 3 blocks up the street, and this is where the community house at, and this is where you come at, and this is where you can get. How do you explain?
Listen, so I was able to do it because the stuff that I learned in my hood. And all the hood taught me is that I wanted to do more and I wanted to be better. And so what I'm trying to get at them kids is the same thing, the same opportunities that was provided, because I came from Old York Road. We lived on Fulton Avenue. We lived on Monroe. We lived down on Gilmore. We lived on Harlem Park. All of that stuff. So if you see somebody that came from those same environments that you and did stuff, I don't think Brandywine is all that. But to other people, they like, damn it. And you feel like you did something.
It's an hour away, my guy. That's a nap.
It is.
You ain't going that far. But no, this is what I'm saying.
But that's the
what
reason
I'm saying is this.
For me to mentor here instead of this.
What I'm saying is, how much easier, more valuable is it to teach somebody what you know and you right here, they can say, oh, you know where I come from because you where I am.
But see,
how can you teach me something? I don't even know if you really the fuck from down Carrollton. I don't know if you went to Harlem Park.
Oh, you know.
Nigga, you might just talk slick. Last time I saw you, you and your friend was dressed like that's what county shit to me.
The Six Flags dressed alike, man.
Oh, you get a boyfriend? How you act? I mean, we gotta see if we can bring them up. Hey, we didn't play this game.
No, we back in WWE. You see this? You see?
But listen, but
we love entertainment. That's what we love.
The question that you ask is because it's to show them that it is room for growth.
It is
no matter where you come from. You know what I mean? Because I remember sitting at a
It was a
table
nice
where
flip, Touche.
hold up. No,
That's a nice flip.
I remember sitting at a table where my mother made sure we ate, and then she ate when we couldn't. I remember those days. So I
Don't even have
remember.
family style eating no more.
I remember when times was hard and my mother made sure we had food on the table and she didn't eat that night. I remember that stuff. So from those experiences, I now know what I can get of these youth. I know what it is to come from. I've been behind bars. My brother's been behind bars. So we had those life experiences that we learned from and grew from. And so
I just wanted you to say it out
I'm a better
loud.
teacher because I made it up. And the boardrooms that I'm sitting in now, nobody would have ever thought I'd be in a boardroom right now. Nobody would have ever thought, if you look at my resume, we will never bring it up on here, but if you look at my resume, you would be,
I don't know, boy.
you would not believe the people I'm sitting in rooms with now. And so that's what I want to get to the youth. That's what I want them to see. You know what I mean? And you can do it here and there, though. You don't have to move away. I can move away and can stay away. But I'm more valuable coming back. I'm more valuable coming back to show them that it is a way out.
What about
And it ain't just sports. It ain't just being an athlete.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I went to the military. A lot of people against that. But that was the greatest thing that ever happened to me because it taught me, it broke me down on how to be. I knew how to be a Baltimore kid. I didn't know how to be a man yet. And so when they broke me in basic training, it taught me how to be a man mentally. You know what I mean? It showed my strength. So instead of me learning it behind bars, I learned it in a different prison system because the military is a prison. And a lot of people don't understand that, but it still taught me values. It taught me how to look at the world different. It taught me how to accept people from all different walks of life. So the best place for me to and show my value is to come back home and make sure I'm giving back to them.
Now here's the hit.
To make it out.
Well, look.
Everybody should want to make it out. But everybody's out is different. Out of your circumstance. I don't know what everybody's circumstance is. It's not about making it out the hood. It's about your circumstances. To make it out, that's true. Everybody in the hood don't have a bad circumstances, but if we look around, most of us can sit here and say some of our circumstances was fucked up.
So will you not say that's the gift and the curse? Because when you make it out and prosper, you do well, you come back, give.
It is a gift and a curse.
Everything is level.
Because I'm going to be judged either way.
But if you stay, then you got somebody on your shoulder 24/7 just waiting for that time to go ahead and get that fame, claim the fame, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that gives you the catch-22.
So
you leave, come back, cool. You stay, it can be detrimental to you.
Absolutely.
And your family.
But that's the problem. A lot of the rappers and a lot of the entertainers and a lot of the artists that have problems in their life. Huh?
I only want to be a rapper.
No. But what I'm saying is they try to stay true to their hood, and that's the same hood they die in.
Right.
Instead of taking their
Well, I guess it depends on if you've been true to your hood or are you being an example to your community.
I'm sorry, I was answering that question. Would you say that again?
No, I heard it. She said the goal to make it out.
So I don't believe the goal is to make it out. I think the goal is to make it better. It's never been a goal.
So it's being an example to your community, not repping your hood. Two different things.
You understand what I'm saying? So it depends. It depends. Everybody ain't supposed to be. Everybody's here for a purpose. You just gotta figure them out. You just gotta give a kid. I don't care if I mentor 15 kids, only 2 of them might make it. One of them might be making it a way for them to provide for their family. See, this is the thing. Everybody has the same goal in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want to move on. They want a house, a car, whatever, right? You just got to decide. No. But
actually, they don't. I love my apartment.
No, everybody wants something out of life, right? Yeah. But you got to decide how big you want it. You got to decide how much you want
something out of life.
Everybody wants something out of life. I'm never going to believe that it's a child, and I don't care how much gone he is or how it appears that the life is failing them. Everybody wants better. everybody's ultimate goal is to get better. Your better is different from my better. Her better
How
is
you gonna get
different
there?
from mine, huh?
Everybody may want better, but everybody don't want to work
That,
to get better.
but that's true.
Or
So
their
my-
better is not.
So
So
my
this
job
what
as a
I'm saying.
mentor, though, my job as a mentor is to find out your little piece. Your little piece. If I find out your little piece, and I can take that little piece and grow that little piece inside of you, then I did my job. Even if you still end up in prison, I still showed you that there was a possibility to do better.
So
And that's
this,
my goal.
so can I just tweak one part of that? Because it all sound really good, especially coming from a mentor. But I want it to only be better. Your better is just better, not making it out the hood, not you just because you don't like when I see. I look at Dave and I'm like, this motherfucker got about 3. If Dave pull up with one more Benz that I ain't seen before, I'm finna have a fit. But to Dave, he like, shit, I'm over this bitch working 15 jobs. I'm getting it.
I
But
called
to
out
some,
tonight.
He got
right,
32 jobs. Hey, dude.
right. He called out for one of them tonight. But the thing is, that don't mean, everybody's making it out the hood is not the same level. So I think that's what
I
screw the
called out
kids
tonight.
up. Because if they didn't move away, they feel like, oh, I ain't make it because everybody's saying I ain't make it because I ain't moved.
But that's why I'm not saying I want everybody.
I know,
going to
that's
be
why I
other
just
than-
tweaked
yeah,
that
I
one
just
little
want 'em to
thing.
I just want them to be better.
That's
If
why I tweaked
leave
it to
you
say
and you're
just the better.
person, if I leave you and you become a better child than you were when I met you, then my job was done. Now, what you do with that is still up to you. I can only give you but so much. You got to want the rest for yourself.
Right.
My goal is to show you
To instill the
what
better.
the rest could be or what better could be.
I like
and then
that.
you got to grow with that.
I like that. I like that. I like
That's
it
it.
that way. I like the better part.
That's all it is.
Because that whole making it out the hood, I think that is a lot of pressure on a young person because they feel like if they ain't changed their zip code, they ain't made it.
No. My goal is to live back in Baltimore City.
So I just
my
wanted
goal
to
is to
tweak
buy every
that
house
one
that my
piece.
mother had us live in growing up in Baltimore City.
Because I can't tell you where I started at from
I got
from
every address
from
that I
where
ever
I
lived
started
in, and
to
I'm
where I
gonna
am
buy every
now,
last one of the
and I'm
properties.
better. I'm way better. So I'm still in the hood, but I'm better, and I'm an example of what better
But see,
can look
so-
like. And I want to say this, and yes, I do have a boyfriend. Fuck wrong with you? Don't play with me. Don't play with me. It's your girl. They keep playing with me.
Even my mother thought she was doing better because she moved us from Carlton Avenue, which is right behind, well, they call it the Avenue Market now, but growing up, it was Lafayette Market. I went to Alice Penderhughes, which is right back.
We believe you. We believe you.
So,
I'm just saying what.
when we moved to East Baltimore, she thought that was better.
Because she thought it was better.
She didn't know Old and Cater was going to be what Old and Cater was going to
But
be.
the thing is, it was better for her.
It was better for
In some
her
aspects.
from where she came
aspects it was
from.
better.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
she didn't know what I was getting from her moving us from West Baltimore to East Baltimore. Because now what I did is I took that same format and I just moved to Brandywine. But everything I'm doing is still here. My mama still, she worked at Head Start program for years on Edmondson Avenue. So even though she moved to East Baltimore, she still was giving back to West Baltimore. So I'm following the footprints. Indirectly though.
You said that's directly.
Okay.
Danielle, I'm sorry, we got way. I apologize, Instagram. I got away from y'all. What did you want to say? And we never came back.
Oh yeah, because she did get up to the mic now. She said she forgot now.
Okay, I apologize. I don't like missing over things. I like to make sure I come back, but I want everybody's point to be heard. I jumped off and came back. So, but I could probably get up and get whatever that last one was.
That look long.
You
It's
know,
all love,
why
Ronnie.
you
It's
can't
all
probably
love, bro.
take a shot today right on
You
live.
probably
You
is.
know, solid.
That's all right. I welcome the event.
He said, B, this is the problem. Why does being in the hood make you real more respectable than the birds? That's optics. Stop looking and start listening to the message.
You know what I like out of everything that he said? Optics. Goes back to Alabama. Optics. And watch this. Did we not have a situation about a week, 2 weeks, probably 2 weeks ago? Carly Russell, where's she from?
Little Mermaid. Oh.
Come
Leave
on,
please
man.
so long.
Is she really?
Was that a coincidence too?
Damn it,
You know what I
missed
mean?
that.
Come on,
Damn it, I
man.
missed
You know what, Dave?
I'm just saying.
And that's the thing. I don't think nobody connected any of that.
I ain't connect that at all.
You got to pay attention, man. And what they say?
Yeah.
So
They
sad.
did.
See, I don't even pay
Did they
attention
bring them
to
back
the
as Black Americans or Negroes?
Oh.
African American.
You know what I mean? ADOS, come on.
Because she made everybody black down there look idiotic. And then the hat going in the air brought us back. So now they back. So if you throw a hat in there,
you see
we
how
back.
easily we swayed, though.
You see? And that took 2 weeks.
Easily swayed.
That took
You
2
see
weeks.
that?
I went from being single to having a
man.
boyfriend in a matter of a week.
That's
The shit is easy.
swaying.
There's nothing to it.
So
There's
everything
nothing
is
to
possible.
change.
Anything is possible.
Any fucking thing is possible.
Alabama and the joint on the boat was real. 9/11 was done by bin Laden and his people over there in Afghanistan. If you believe that, you believe
Somebody
that.
spin the topic.
too.
What's the other topic? We had another topic.
topic.
What's the
We're not doing that, Dave. We're not doing
Danielle,
Hey, the
what did you have? You told me you had a
conversation.
you had a topic.
that.
Did you tell me you had a topic you wanted to talk about?
Bet.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
I bet. That's smart.
Somebody give me a topic. Malone, what you talking about back there? We got to get Dave away from this borderline. What y'all talking about back there? We need another topic. I'm trying to pull Dave out of this.
What the fuck is he talking about, girl? He on some bullshit.
Oh my God, they still talk about the young man that jumped in the water.
He was 17. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come over here to the mic, Lisa, so live can catch you.
Especially since they say we can't swim. Well, I can't.
I can't.
You can. I tell you what.
Personify for me a need that's greater than your own.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like you just something that like if a mother see her child in distress, she's gonna pick up the car off of that baby. You know what I'm saying? It's like that need, and that's the thing that I think resonated the most in our community. That the help that he received or the
It
support
came from everywhere.
that he received.
Same way I felt with the kids when they kept on dumbing down.
Will
That was a big piece for
stay
me.
where it is,
That was
or
big
will
for
the
me.
energy stop what we see, and then when we see something else, it'll transfer to something else?
Listen, I don't care.
Yeah, because they'd be hard.
I don't know when.
Tomorrow.
When
Nice.
it's gonna stop
Boom.
and start. The only thing that I know is that he responded in that moment, and
Sure.
we thought.
And like we all agree, young people got some heart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
we
of
are talking about it right now.
one of the things that
So
I
what
like,
do
I
you
liked
do
about it.
after the fact?
But you never know what he's doing.
Yeah, it might be some work in the background. I think this was
What you
a
say,
spark
Dad? We
everybody
couldn't hear.
needed.
His reaction.
And that's what I was gonna say.
And you
One of
know
the
what?
things that he said that I honored him even more and I respected him even more is when people started donating money to him. He said, I don't deserve the money that you guys are giving me. He said, I reacted on what I was taught. And that right there was bigger than anything else. Because that's a child speaking life. So somebody's speaking life into that child that allowed him to know that he saw somebody in distress and he went there to help.
Why did the brawl get a news conference? Y'all wasn't here when I asked that then. Please speak up, sir.
It's because of social media, though. Yeah, it's because of social media.
I was just going to
Really?
say the reason why I got media coverage
Help me out.
is because it's
Not media coverage, a news conference. That's different. That's different.
Because, and some people might disagree, obviously, but it added to racial tension. It
But it's
added
kind of
to
both.
furthering the divide between so-called black people and white people in this country.
Amen.
Some people want to, a lot of people, black and white,
Yes, sir.
So, and a lot of this is coming from like the so-called elite white people in this country. They want the country to continue to be divided along
Yes.
racial lines. So
Yes.
if you got an opportunity, whether it was manufactured or not, whether whether it's a psyop or not,
Right.
it's still an opportunity for them
That's it.
to further the divide.
That's it.
So when they put it all over the social media, all over the news, like for me, I think it's like we gonna
Yep. Now who want they lick back?
Jokes and then the memes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Songs, videos, it's ridiculous.
All kind of memes and everything. So it's like I ain't gonna say we don't take shit serious, but it's like
That.
My brother, no, you're not gonna bypass that.
Because that's
You're not
what it
gonna
is.
bypass that.
It wasn't taken seriously.
Say it again, please.
That.
For what it is, and it's not enough critical thinking about how the media influences, our
Everything.
behavior and society in that way. So,
But you gotta understand this part too. For so many years, we laughed to keep from crime, and so it became a part of our DNA. So that's all we know how to do. And so what I'm hoping that this moment here, it will breed more leaders. But see, the thing about the leaders of yesterday
It's not.
was, it might not. The
gonna read
leaders
this
of
before we
yesterday
wrap up.
were willing to give their life. We don't have that right now, where somebody, and I'm hoping that it is one of these youth that come up that are willing to sacrifice that, because that's what it's going to take. Because to dedicate everything you have to the change we need, some lives are going to have to be lost. And nobody wants to have that real conversation, but that's real. We all talk about what the change we want and the things we want to see different, but with
got the heart to
those
make the change.
changes, who has the heart and who has the intestinal fortitude to take those steps and are willing to give their life for the cause? And that's really what it is. We had that years ago. We don't have that right now.
Let me read this.
You won't even stop buying Christmas gifts, my nigga. So, if we're not going to do that, ain't no need to have a conversation. Colin Kaepernick, right?
All right, can I read
Colin
this
Kaepernick
comment?
asked
You
for
wait, sit on your phone.
stand. We wouldn't do that, even though it was BS, and I know it was, but we wouldn't even do that. You know what? It's fucked up, Joe, how they doing Kaepernick, man. They shouldn't do him like that, well, he this, that, together. But who planned it? We don't care.
It went right
It's
from
sales.
how
man.
sad it looked to who playing right now. Let me
We
read this
don't
comment real
care.
quick.
Go ahead.
Of course, it's Rodney Pierce. My God. Rodney Pierce said, look at the civil rights movement as a whole. The majority of the major changes were made after the youth were brutalized, murdered, or made a stand for righteousness. The youth have to take a stand and lead in a positive direction.
And to that, Rodney Pierce, I'm not even going to knock you, but I ask you this question, sir. Human rights versus civil rights. X fought for human rights. King fought for human rights.
and
Talk to me.
that's the difference between Malcolm X and MLK, because Malcolm X was trying to bring the issues that we was dealing with here to the United Nations.
Yes, sir.
So that other countries, other nations can get involved and they can intervene, so pretty much racism could come to an end. But the issue is white supremacy. And that's something that a lot of people don't want to talk about, because like, and I wish y'all had the Funk Flex, the bomb joint you could drop on.
Hey, brother.
I'm just saying, like,
The quiet.
Kaboom!
Watch this. The quietness, the bomb is dropped. Continue, please.
so the issue is, this was already our land.
Yeah.
That's,
Say that again.
this was already our
My
land.
God.
That doesn't get talked about, because a lot of us have fallen into the doctrine that we all came from Africa.
Yes, sir.
And, I don't have anything against Africans or people from Africa. But a lot of us have American Indian. I'm not talking about Native American. It's a big difference. So you just gotta dig into that history.
Talk about it.
A lot of us.
Who invited this young man here tonight?
You threw it out the corner, but I did. I wish I did.
That there was a lot of founding fathers of this country who were melanated,
Yep.
look just like some of us.
Yes, sir.
That's not talking
Yes,
about.
sir.
So when you talk about the history of this country,
Mhm.
we're talking about the whitewashing of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like we talking about melanated people, like y'all heard of the Black Irish and the Black Dutch. These
Already.
are like little things that get dropped in here and there, or you might have heard your great grandma say, "Oh, we got Indian," or "We Indian."
Yep.
So where did the Indian go?
They stopped talking.
Right.
They stopped talking about it.
Because there was laws that was passed to make all of us fall into the dichotomy of black and white. So if we don't understand race as a social construct, then we're just falling into, oh, I'm black.
My man.
You know what I'm saying?
My
So
man.
so it's a lot of history to unpack. It's almost too much history that we can even like we would be
Fathom
here for the
to
rest of the
unpack.
week
Yeah.
trying to unpack and trying to digest it.
We're
But
gonna
you know
wrap
what?
up right
And
now.
here's the hit. We'll have this, right? I was at a football party about a year ago, right? Something like this. Everybody in there, I'm in the kitchen with 3 dudes talking the exact same way. My man in the living room with the big screen said, "Yo, we ain't trying to hear that back to Africa shit, man." And I said nothing about that. But because we're talking on that level, we can't do that because we're so engrossed with the goal. But we still engrossed. The BS catches first.
And that's the thing.
Whether they can't follow or not. The BS that catches and we good with that. We don't want to hear the other stuff.
History and for people, it's for some people it's too deep to wrap their head around
Sure.
because they only see history as black and white.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? But I ain't never seen a black person and I ain't never seen a white person. I seen pale skinned people, I seen brown skinned people.
Well, sir, in this yard, you are black or African American and you need to accept that. Because the people.
Indoctrination.
Yes, sir.
But if you look at the signs and the pictures, the black and white pictures that they show us of the civil rights movement, the sign said colored on it.
Right.
So it didn't say black, it didn't say African American, it didn't say African. So again, this is so much history that we not talking about, and a lot of people don't want to talk about because, like for example, the Pan-Africanists. Like this is it's like imagine your whole life somebody been telling you
A
come
lie.
from Africa,
Yeah.
or been telling you a lie,
Yeah.
and then you come across some information that's like you start digging deeper and deeper into it, and then you like, oh shit, I ain't got no African in my family. Like I'm gonna give y'all this one jewel.
Come on, baby. Come on.
So like the DNA testing, right?
Yeah.
Like if you read the white paper, it talks about how it's only really for entertainment value. One of my homies, he called the people at the company and they talked about how they go back 5 to 10 generations.
Right.
And they try to like give you a geographical location as to where your people come from. But if you do your own genealogy research, you could go back 5 to 10 generations on your own just through census records. If you know your great grandparents' name,
You better.
find out. Yeah, you
You better.
You play the grandma game. So if you can't tell me all 4 of your great grandparents and
You don't know nothing.
it's like you don't even really know your own history.
Yep.
So we gotta start figuring out where we come from through.
I love everything about it.
talking to our elders. So what I'm saying is, if you go back in your own history, you'll find out that a lot of your people was already here. There was laws that was being
Come on,
passed
man.
that was making American Indians ashamed
Yeah.
to call themselves or identify as Indian. So we've been given an image of what an Indian looks like, and those are
No, you gotta do. Do is know your ancestors, know your family, to know your family, to know your family, to know your family, and keep on digging and digging and digging. I did this how many years, Tammy? I think I did it for 4 years till I found out that like down and down and down how grandfather was a white man. Like we dug so deep that we got scared. This dummy was like, stop looking.
Well, even
She was
with that,
scared.
we been told like, oh, well, my great grandma, she got raped by a white man, and it's like that's not always the case.
That's
because
not the case.
They weren't seeing society as black and white.
No.
We live in this system of white supremacy.
Yes,
so
sir.
it's
And them
all
names
about
changes according to who
dividing
plantation
society
they
so
lived
there
on.
could be,
You don't even know who you named after. You don't ask nobody.
Class and a slave class. So when we talk about capitalism, that's all it is. It's to create laborers or workers and people who benefit from labor.
That's it.
So you know what I'm saying? Like
If
and
you
I'ma
take
just
the
say
time
this,
to look,
you got 4 grandparents. Your mom and your dad both got a mom and a dad. That's 4 grandparents. You go back another generation, that's 8 great grandparents. You go back another generation, that's 16 great grandparents. Then you go back another generation, that's 32 3 times great grandparents. So a lot of us don't even know we don't even know that far back. And a lot of times it's because we haven't taken the time to do the genealogical research. So
and it's not done in a day. It's not done in a week. I'm telling you, it literally took me. It took me over 4 years to dig deep, but I dug deep and I bust that shit out. And I'm telling you, Mel, you would be surprised how those ones who they think don't know nothing, they too old, it's in there. I told some great cousins some stuff of their own that they had no idea. And she's the oldest of the oldest. And I said, well, you couldn't find your birth certificate because your daddy ain't your daddy. She looked at me like, what? Asked them. They had a whole fucking conference with me one night. And I ran down everybody's information that I pulled up.
Peace,
I'm here
bro.
for it.
To add to your wisdom, they talk about what happened to Tulsa, Oklahoma. What they don't tell you is the American Indian was forced into Tulsa, Oklahoma. Come on, man.
Who invited this young man here?
That's it.
Touche.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Who is this young man?
Yes. Yes.
He is my new Jimmy. I gotta tell y'all, I'm not getting rid of Jimmy, but this is my new Jimmy.
Yeah.
Don't nobody tell my baby I said that. I didn't say that, Jimmy. I was saying he's like my Jimmy. That's what he is. I don't know who invited you here, but I am just loving everything that you have to say. I appreciate it. And I'm telling you, for you to be young, and Jimmy is not even old as he is. And this young man, I wish he could be here right now. Handsome thing, perfect teeth, and he can give you Jimmy got some perfect teeth, and he can give you knowledge. And that's why I'm just saying it, just in case he heard me and he think I'm trying to replace him. I'm not, but I love what you have to say. But Jimmy is always my Jimmy. But I don't know who invited you here, but I'm just loving everything you hear. John, look at that, another J. Another J. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. Real quick, over on Instagram, Rodney Pierce said, how are you going to speak on something they aren't teaching in the family or the schools? Get your elders out in nursing home and get them out the nursing home and get the history live. And I agree with you, Rodney Pierce. I agree. But also, like the young man said, the census didn't change. It's there. Like you gotta know somebody.
But they quick to put them into a nursing home versus to deal with them in the home.
Yeah.
The same person wipes your ass, do whatever they did for you as a baby.
Yeah.
When they get to the age, you throw them in a home. No.
But I'm just saying.
Say it again. Say it again. My man.
I wish I want live to be able to hear what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Can you get that from her?
He was saying that they don't have welfare in Jamaica. It was like, if you don't work, you don't eat. And then they was broken down. He was like, if you notice here, the guy was like, I went to America. He's like, it sucks. Yeah. And I had to respect it. He was like, y'all got all these ifs, ands, and buts for an excuse.
We looked at something about that today.
Like,
me and my boyfriend.
Here, he was like, when that
Me and the boyfriend.
Because
Wait,
like,
Rick.
their grandparent, when they were younger,
Right.
they busted behind, did what they had to do to pay for the next person.
Hey,
When that person
Nene.
became older, that person who moved up in age took care of the grandparent. They was like, we don't have what's the proper term? For homes for elderly.
Yeah.
I can't think of the
Or nursing homes.
Nursing
It's a
homes.
proper term,
They don't
man.
have them in Jamaica because that person still stays in the house.
There you
And they
go.
just keep. So when he stayed, like for example, we was looking at the homes. I don't know if any of y'all have been to Jamaica. If you look at the homes in
Keep
Jamaica,
your mic up so we can hear you.
the-
I want
the
live
homes
to
in
be able to hear
Jamaica,
you. Mhm.
if you see a pad where it's like just a flat concrete pad,
Mhm.
the home is not owned because they can just go and pick the home up and keep it moving.
Mhm.
Right. And then if it's
Mm.
but when it's the studs where it can be mounted to, they own it. Right.
And in Jamaica, you can actually see how it took them so long because you see somehow it's like, well, they only got a partial of a this right here, and it's only because they taking their time and they're building.
They don't.
They're
rush
building
to
onto
do
their
it,
home.
they're doing it. But when he said no, if you see the house on the land planet, they own that land. They own that house. They own that land. You will see sometimes because my stepfather's from the Bahamas, and we have houses over there. If you see a house riding down the street, you will drive it sometimes. You will see the house on the flatbed riding down the street. That's because they own the house, but they not
They
own
didn't
the
own the land.
So they pick that house up and they're moving it to another piece of land.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, I got it. I just wanted him to
Good.
say it so that live can hear. Thank you. Black Power.
What's there on that?
Black Power.
I don't know what black power. What is black power?
I just wanted
I got
David to
power,
say
God
something.
damn it.
You got
Tell
too
it.
quiet.
The funny thing is, all this started over a kid. Start asking me questions,
Mhm.
and I couldn't answer the question.
Ooh, that's
And
beautiful.
it hit me, and I'm like, damn,
Beautiful.
like, she was younger, like, now
Honestly.
she's 16 or 17. At the time, she may have been like 5 or 6. And she started asking me all these questions, and I was like, I can't answer, and it frustrated me. I said, you know what? I'm gonna take you back because a lot of people think I was born in Baltimore, but I was raised in Wilmington, North Carolina, and Yonkers, New York.
Mhm.
So I said, okay, let me get her the answer that she asked because she kept asking.
Yeah.
And she was persistent about it. Couldn't answer the questions. I called my uncle, was like, oh, look, your niece got some questions. She needs answers. He was like, all right, bring her home. Took her home to Wilmington, North Carolina, which is one of the racist areas in North
Yeah.
Carolina you could possibly deal with. So we went back down, they took her, uncle was like, come with me. They went off, and he told her, step by step by step, that's your grandmother house. That's your great grandfather house. This is something he went back and did the history. Now, when my grandmother passed, how you say you was going through the census?
Yes.
My grandmother has our family dated back to like the early 1800s. She has
That's how far I went. Awesome.
book. We didn't find out until a cousin like, hey, I got the book of our history. We didn't know a book. It scared the hell out of me seeing
Everything is written
Because I
down.
only
Yeah.
Everything.
It was all written down.
back home and did the digging.
Mhm.
If she hadn't asked.
Say it again, man. Say it
Because
again.
your history was going up in
That's
flames.
it.
Because
Everything written down.
those things that were written down are held liable to stand for something. So they had to get rid of all of that.
And they armed the banks, Black Wall Street.
Yep.
And those people can't go in there and say, hey, I own this, that, and the third, because
Mhm.
there's no proof.
There you go.
I'm telling you, if you don't know, you better find out. And like you said, it's so eerie once you dig. I went back into the early 1800s. It was so eerie that my sister was like, don't look no more. And I was like, no, it's too late. Because ain't nobody going to ask me. Because we grew up where our family, our mother passed away when she was a child. when my uncle was 6 months. So it was like what they knew was only what they were told, that basically y'all was mistreated, your mother died young, and so they had nothing. So when they had a birthday party for my aunt, I think she turned like 90, my uncle was mistreated. So they had another party 2 years later, and Uncle Leroy said he wanted to go. I said, Tammy, well, he wanted to go. He said, well, Granny, I need you to find something with my mother's signature on it. They know all they got to do is ask me one freaking thing, and I'm on it. I went from finding her signature to digging everything. But by the time I called that great aunt, this chick was on the phone silent. I thought she had died. I was like, hello? You need me to call you back? And she said, no, I just need a moment. And that's when she came up, like you said, asked the question. She came out with so much of the family history that her children, who are, I looked at as uncles and aunts, who are actually cousins of ours, they looked at me like, that can't be. It was at the birthday party. They had, the guessing game. So my sister always pushing me to do shit. Yeah, so she was like, answer the question. You better say it. So I was like, And they was like, well, how you know? I said, I'll tell you next time.
My situation.
And I was able to put it all out.
D and me.
Why do what?
You should stay at home, did D and me, and mail that off, and got what you need.
No, it ain't.
You don't trust that?
That my great grandfather was white. My grandmother was black and
Black American.
And they went back and showed it like the grandmother then like how you say with the grandfather. And I started looking at it, I was like, hold up. All this time that stereotype, oh, you black. When I found out, I was like, I'm not just black. Yes. So when I found out, like, so people like,
I'm telling you.
I don't just put black anymore.
Dead.
So it come to find the Dominican,
Look it up.
white, black, Indian, folk, and black.
Like once you start digging, you don't know. Like we actually thought we were just like the mistreated ones with no real grandmother. Like nobody cared for our mother who was now deceased at our young age. So we looked like we were just the less than. But once I dug into everything and found out that our mother's mother was set apart because she was raised with not her mother but the grandmother, whose husband was the white guy, who was the white of the black of the white man. Oh, that's why she was mistreated. That's why she was set apart. Oh, then that's why when she passed, her children were sent to live here. And that's why her children were mistreated. Thus, these grandchildren now, who is me, whose mouth is too fucking big to shut up.
Maybe she was a colored person. Now you are a black person. So in between that lineage, you was African American and colored. They got lost.
And they got lost somewhere. They got lost in the footing. They got lost in the footing. Real quick, Rodney Pierce said, David, your battery is running low. Fuel up on the Henny. Not your mic, but your drink.
Hey, Rodney, I need you to come and hey, Rodney. Our next venue, my drink is on me. And
our next venue is going to be at Rodney Pierce's yard. Fucking
Rodney,
you ain't got to come to us. We coming right to you. And you got a pool, so we going to be, it's a whole pool party.
But Rodney is a constant viewer, so we definitely.
Every show. So we always got to give it a shout out. I'm always going to read his comments no matter what. I have to thank everybody for coming. Everybody comment, everybody input. I appreciate it.
No, it ain't.
Well, it should be. We're after our time. One more. Well, give us the topic. Give us the topic, guy.
8:40. What y'all want to talk about?
All right. Okay. We got.
And we ain't scared of nothing. Oh, y'all want
We
to talk
got
about
32 minutes.
Who? Y'all want? Oh.
Who's me? Who is? Oh, because I was going to say this. He's finna go in.
Who is? Talk about you?
Give us a topic, Di. What's your topic? You say keep
Okay, I
going.
want to talk about you. Why is your hair gray? And Storm from the X-Men hair is gray. And every time there's a fight in the X-Men, they protect Storm. Help me out.
That went over my head, dog.
I am not getting up. So watch this. That's something for you to check out. All right.
Don't call your sister and tell her to look it up.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
Because she finna do it. I'm saying it now.
One more time.
Well, the governor in Florida right now, he just stopped another election in Florida. The governor.
DeSantis.
Yes,
Okay.
DeSantis. This is second. It was the second time he stopped 2 elections, and the most recent one was I think like a couple of days ago. There was only one black woman running because she was running. He canceled the election, and with all that hate that dude has.
Mm-hmm.
How much? How can one person have that much damn hate?
What?
It's crazy.
You think DeSantis has more hate than Trump do?
It's the same damn lives not worth.
Do you? No. The question is, who has more hate though? Negative. The only reason why DeSantis is not more hated more than Trump is because he's not front lining. That's the only reason why. No, we're not enough. We're not saying front lining.
Not front lining enough. I mean, like Trump finna stand right here. Tell you how he gonna grab the woman crouch. He's gonna be, before he was president, he had a big mouth with a big head, and he was finna say it. So his hate looked like it was so great. This man got just as much hate. He's just not as bold as Trump was with his shit.
And with DeSantis, he flip-flopped with Trump, right? On certain topics he agreed, certain he disagreed. But here's the thing, brother. It's entertainment. I said the Touche. I want to say 2017, maybe 18. I said, Touche, why don't you just don't vote and see what happens? If everybody don't vote and see what happens, then I get, nah, yo, the ancestors that we died for. Man, watch this. They want everybody to take the vaccine. If you don't take the vaccine, you can't go to work. It's the same thing.
Same thing.
It's the same thing. Barack.
What was the great of Barack Obama?
What's Barack Obama's real name? What's Barack Obama's real name, ma'am?
Did she have the mic?
Negative.
Yeah. Okay.
His real name is Barry Soetoro. Look that up. It do matter. If you're gonna tell me he was the president, what?
Talking to the mic.
What is? Okay, and we can do that. We can do that. So let's stay together as black people. What's black people? I'll wait. What's black people? If you don't play the game, who makes the rules? Let me ask you that. Do you know? Have you tried it? Have you tried it? Sweetheart, let fear rules. Fear is stronger than love. Did you know that? Do you realize when Trump was in office, right? And I've never voted a day in my life. Let's be clear.
Ronnie P. said, who
never
has the money?
But do you realize how? Now watch this. Now she gave me the question, gave the microwave, and started having her own personal conversation. So I'm gonna end my conversation.
Real quick, Rodney Pierce said, he who has the money is he who has the rule. Right.
Yes, but when I gave you a question, I listened. When you gave me one, you started telling everybody about the nigga. Girl, what you say? You displayed it. You didn't say it.
Michelle, what you got? Oh, that's not Michelle. That's Victoria.
And watch this. Now, if we was fighting some quote unquote lighter hue folks, we'd have been on the same connotation. But because we're not on that same level right here, you didn't gave me the question, you didn't talk to them like I ain't. What y'all say?
It's not about the
No,
stage.
it's
The microphone is
That is
there.
all for everybody to
You
talk
understand?
and say their part.
And
It's for
that's why,
everybody.
and that's why we
no
can't
limit.
move forward. Because watch this. On that pier, ain't nobody say who is who. They just reacted right or wrong.
That young man
They
don't know
reacted.
who's
That's it.
first. He just got an award.
They was
Jordans and all, sneakers and all. He
Come
saw
on,
the black man, the colored man, the dark skinned guy, the man with the tan in need of help, and he jumped in
And
the
watch
water and went
this. I
for it.
don't know if there are any swimmers in here. I can swim, but I can't swim that far and then lift myself out the water
Hoist
to engage.
himself out the
He
water
hoisted.
in
Come on,
the
man,
shoes.
say. He said hoisted,
He
right?
hoisted himself out the water. That young man wasn't playing.
Man, come on, man.
That's the
We
reaction
can't have a
that
conversation.
everybody should have for each other, I think, at all times. I think that should be the reaction. That's what normally, if we want to have hot topic, I'm always like, we gotta have some food. I just feel like certain things bring us colored folks, us black folk, us dark skin. Call it what you like. It
Can
brings
I
us
ask y'all a
together. It
question?
brings us together.
Everybody that's here
Yes.
right here tonight, who has social media?
I have
One.
social media.
2, 3, 4, 5.
The overwhelming majority.
6, 7. Did anybody with this show tonight that received the alert, did anybody share it to anybody? Whether
The flyer saying that the show is tonight.
Did anybody share it with either in person or on your page? Appreciate you. Anybody else? That's 2, that's 3.
Well, that whole group right there, they are
Ma'am,
all
we're
together.
not
So
doing.
I'm just
we're not
saying
doing
how
whole
it goes.
group. No.
I'm
no.
just saying
The
before
whole
you
group
ask
know
them
how to speak when
individually.
it's time to speak.
Okay, you want them
The
to
whole group could have said, yeah, I shared it too, or they did not. That's cool. That's cool.
I was just saying it just in case they didn't. I'm quite sure. Somebody called
no,
died,
we
somebody
ain't doing
said,
that. That was
somebody
people,
said,
we speak
yeah.
with people.
So you saying if they did, they shared on their social media
I
only?
just want to know if
Okay.
they shared.
Did y'all share the flyer thing of the show tonight?
On your page with somebody.
Text
something.
message, anything?
Why you didn't share it on your page?
She said she did.
1. Exclude you. Anybody else? I appreciate that. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Because he was like, well, there's no food. I said, okay. Wait, no hamburgers or hot dogs being cooked on the grill. I figured we're going to talk regardless.
Right.
1.
Well, I
2,
never posted that it wasn't anything to eat.
if we're here in the union, right, and we're providing food, everybody that's eating going to share what they hear, whether it be social media, whether it be within a person. But I didn't get a whole lot of people that said they shared. That's all I'm saying.
I
So
think
we share.
a lot of we do. I think a lot of people, even if they share, repost, send it in a text message, call a friend,
How many
and
have you
say,
seen?
bring a friend. No, this is what I'm saying in reference to it. Why a lot of people who probably don't come out, it's just because it's me.
No.
I'm being honest.
Because
A lot of them did.
my man John in the back wasn't here for the first 3 shows.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I'm.
John came on show. No. Hey, John, it's not a diss at all, right?
No.
It's
And we
not a diss
appreciate
at all, brother.
We
You wasn't here
appreciate
before. What I'm saying is, it's the usual crowd. You are the only one that I can say ain't been here. I think.
This young
That's
lady
2.
right here.
2 people. That's 3. All right.
Is it on? Mhm.
Yeah, he was a gym.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your name again?
John.
No. Right here.
Oh, Lisa.
Stand at the mic. Lisa, you said everything is purposeful. That show at the pier was purposeful. I agree with you. I agree with you.
I think that might not.
But it worked out, did it not?
Is it on?
Because too
She
much
wasn't
lined
here.
up for
She
it to
wasn't
be
here.
a
Fuck with it.
coincidence. That's why. But my bigger question is, that was beautiful. Where do we go now? How? The same,
We
the
all
same,
go to swimming like
the same people you vote for.
learn with the tennis. That's what I got out of it.
So do we take this as one situation and then ha he and move to the next one, or do we find a way to unite and make a change? You ain't gonna follow, so it don't even matter. Don't even matter. Say that again.
The chair and the swimmer got more exposure than me.
Absolutely. So again, where do we go? While everything was so beautiful, everything was united, okay, boom. The next day, what do we do? Where do we go?
Not an indication of us as a people, more not of us as a people or white supremacy. It's more of an indication of what we do to the generations to go. So if you drop the ball as well, because I don't think Black Lives Matter t-shirt anymore. I mean, if you drop the ball,
Black Lives Matter. What does that mean? What does that mean? That was a movement where the people that owned Black Lives Matter bought mansions and houses. They bought drugs and prostitutes. That was Black Lives Matter.
Next topic. Do you remember that time?
Conspiracy theory. Where did that come from? Do you know that Black Lives Matter involved the demonic entities of Baal, Lucifer, and Moloch? Did you know that?
We started the show with all of that.
Say it again.
I said to me, what I think it's idiotic to keep saying Black Lives Matter and it should be Lives Matter. It didn't make sense to keep saying Black Lives Matter. Every fucking life mattered. Whatever color you was, whatever fucking man.
Then why should the Black Lives Matter flag be posted up?
So the reason I said what happened that day was because I refused to give it or something that belongs
Should
to
it
me.
be Black Lives Matter flag planted? Yes or
It
no?
should be Lives Matter.
Period.
Period.
Okay.
There we go.
That's not what she said. She said Black
Yeah, I
Lives
know.
Matter.
But I know when she said that, where you were going to go, and she wasn't here, come down the street. So I don't want to go down that fast with you now. Because what had happened was, remember that day that
If Black Lives Matter, it don't matter. If Black Lives Matter, it don't matter where the street is, do it be. It matters. That's it. Say it again. But when the Asians was attacked, did they not get laws passed? When the LGBTQ elemental P was attacked, did they not get laws passed? But when Afro, Negro, African American, or Black, or ADOS was attacked, I ain't seen a law passed yet. I ain't seen a law passed yet.
Like somebody.
Let me tell you why we at home.
Well, see, the thing is, it comes back to
What's the law?
It comes back to what you standing up for.
What's the law?
What you standing up for? What you finna fight for? The thing is, you can vote or not vote and want to be able to get abortions, but you won't stand up for. You won't fight. You can vote and say, what is the Section 8 list closed? How many people will stand up and say, we open the Section 8 list or open up the housing list?
They did open it up.
It has. Why? Because enough people made noise about it.
But listen.
So it's all about what you speak up on, how you speak up on, how far you willing to go on. Yeah, LGBTQ plus community.
They
finna go all the way back and back.
They opened up the housing,
But
right?
color folks
Which was
should
cool.
stand right
That's
here
beautiful.
and beat with each other about what you said and what you said, because we don't have 3 freaking shows in a row that what we had to say about Little Mermaid. And some of them, and baby, your head looks good.
Here's my question to everybody in the room.
You do it or not? And that's why the show turn out don't be as great, because it's like, oh, this video, nobody want to hear about. You're right, because I'm going to make my fucking point. I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to make it known.
But
It's
V.
going to be what it is. Everybody just not going to do that, David.
Can I ask you a question?
Here we go. I don't want to answer it.
Here-
Whatever it is.
Here's the question. The question is for everybody in the room, especially those that vote, right? Baltimore City said we're gonna give the homeless 91 million. That was 2 years ago. My question to the voters in the room: what happened with that 91 million? Where did it go? Touche, this not for you because you live in Brandywine. Everybody else. I'm just saying, where did that 91 million go?
But listen though,
Where did the money go at?
but see, it comes back to the voters too, though.
It come back to who, sir?
It come back to the voters too.
It come back to who, sir?
So, come on. Hold on.
Oh,
No. It come back to the voters because
Thank you.
at the end of the day, you keep choosing to put these people in office, but you're not choosing to demand these people stand on what they said. And that's where the problem is. The voting system, the voting is not the problem. It's after you vote, you don't hold them accountable. If you're not going to hold them accountable, then why vote?
Why
for them?
vote?
Not why vote, but why vote for them?
Why
Because
vote? If you're not gonna hold nobody accountable,
I will let
why
you-
vote? You
so
said.
Regardless of who you vote for, hold whatever that
That's it.
situation is
That's it.
accountable.
You gotta
That's
hold
it.
them.
Or not vote is still holding
But
you
see, we
accountable.
feel like a lot of people feel
That's
like
all it is.
a lot of
I can be
people.
here every week that I say you be back, I'll be back. And if nobody else, me tell me Lisa finna be here. And Lisa finna call Don, and Don finna call prayer. And it's just gonna keep being the same way. Because I'm gonna get my point across. I'm gonna be held accountable every time Alfred show up.
But
You
that's
gotta be-
and
you
that's
gotta
not what
hold
we
the
do.
motherfucker accountable.
That's not what
Whether
we do.
you
Though.
vote or
We
not.
think this is the truth.
So what we do?
As a voter,
Accountability.
as a voter, after we vote, we think our job is done, and that's the problem. But it's not even a talk thing. But we never, because Baltimore City has
It's
been.
a scapegoat.
Hold on, Baltimore City has
Scapegoat,
been
right?
controlled by black people for as long as we all have been here. It's always been black people in office, and Baltimore City still is not going forward. It's because we're not holding the people that we put in office accountable. So it comes back to us.
I don't
How many times do
I
you
don't
go
think that the
to?
voting makes the difference, Touche. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I get everything Dad said about I'm gonna vote because my mama and her mama and her mama and her mama could not, so I'm finna vote just because. I'm mad at you. Do what your grandma couldn't do. My mother ain't have her name legalized on a business, and I'm here to make every fucking shea better, every alcohol, every clothing brand, everything with JMH on it. It's about the accountability of things. So yeah, I get why she said she voted, but after that, who are you holding accountable for what they say they're gonna do?
And that's the point.
Well, it's not even about the voting. Because when you vote or not, it's the accountability. Well, congratulations.
But how
you probably
many?
like
But
a
this is the
selective
thing.
few.
How
You're
many
not
people
overwhelming
do?
majority.
You continue to put people in office,
It's more
and
important
you
than
don't
names.
have them. You don't hold them accountable.
Name that's working than anything.
Yeah. So I've been telling people this for years. I've been telling this people for years, and a lot of people hate these boys, right?
You got 2 minutes.
Goddamn, what's his name? The politician in Baltimore City that died.
Oh, Lewis.
No, not Lewis. Baltimore City. He was from where the riots happened.
Oh.
Not Lewis.
That was Lewis, sir.
No, it wasn't Lewis, though.
No, those no. It's the same black
What the
dude.
fuck is yeah, black dude?
Elijah Cummings.
So yeah, people been mad at me for years because I'm not a fan of Elijah Cummings, right? Because a lot of people know the name, they think he did some work. But once again, he's another black man that came up through the system, and once he left Baltimore City, he left Baltimore City. He never really gave back to Baltimore City because if you look at his
That's not true.
Hold on.
No, that's not true. I live across the street from Baby Mother. But go ahead.
From his baby mother?
Baby Mother.
All right. So I always compare him to Marion Barry. There are still programs in D.C. that are still running that Marion Barry created for his ward, right? And he was a druggie. He had problems with prostitutes. They ran him through the mud. He went to prison. He did all of this stuff. But the stuff that he did for his ward is still working this day. He's been dead for how long? But what can you put your finger on?
5 years.
But what can you? I don't know, longer than that. But what can you put your finger on that Elijah Cummings did for Baltimore City?
Almost 10 years. You're right. What she said? But you know what?
So I'm gonna tell y'all this, because my daughter go to Howard, and Howard is one of the worst universities as black people that we can go to. So because of the HBCU, that's what they keep teaching us, that HBCUs are this, but you gotta understand some stuff.
Absolutely.
I know products of HBCUs that are doing great things also, but what I will tell you also is they're not giving back to the HBCUs. And that's another problem.
Yep.
And that's the problem. It's a lot of them that's not.
Most of them not.
It's more.
There you go.
There
you go.
It's more of them that's not.
HBCU graduate. And I speak HBCU. But I had.
What college?
Top state. I had.
That's our first.
Oh, what happened? What I missed? Wow. But sister, hold on. But hold on. Before you speak, watch this. Before you speak, right? You see how easily it was for her to dismay. No, man. We shouldn't do that at all. We shouldn't do that at all.
I'm sorry.
He was Southern University. But I had who are on their way to college. I have a little cousin that's on their way to Morehouse. The HBCUs, they're taking all these kids in and they don't have room for them.
Yep.
To Clark. So
he got to be a slave. He got to be a slave to go to the school.
Her mother paid the money. All of a sudden, I know, matter of fact, 3 females supposed to go to Clark. They have no more housing for us. My 4 years. They're getting these kids in, getting them excited, and one, they're not giving them the money they're supposed to get.
Yep.
Two, they're not giving them the housing that they need.
Well,
Big HBCU. I gave my daughter a list of HBCUs in the 10th grade. She wanted to her junior year to look at. But I also told her we're going to look at other. He said, Clark, she's going to a private. I'm going to give her half.
Well,
so you need to come together when it comes to, especially if you graduated from an HBCU,
right,
to go back, because this don't make no sense.
Speak on it.
But that's what's going on, and so we keep getting caught up in the images of everything, right? But if you haven't experienced the life of an HBCU, you don't truly understand it. And because my daughter went through the same thing, where there was no housing. Once you become a junior, and most HBCUs, they don't provide you housing. They want you to live off campus, but they still want
It
you.
just makes sense what was said in the beginning of the statement. Make sure if you did go to one, make sure you go back. Pray with her saying,
Okay, but can I ask you this though?
Said they go back. You got that if you didn't.
I got a
I'm
question.
the person who was a teen mom that dropped out of high school, but you better believe I don't not go back and get somebody
I got a
piece of
question.
knowledge. You don't give a fuck where you went to school.
I have a
Get
question.
back. I don't want your question. Cause this is
I have a
now
question.
after
I have a
nine.
question.
Thank y'all for coming. This has been.
I have a question, y'all. I have a question. Hey V, you terrible, man. You terrible. You terrible.
Hey, she got a boyfriend. She gotta get home.
Oh, he gonna make sure you get home. He not gonna leave here and make sure she don't get home. He gonna do that.
No, she got to go now. You know, she on the clock.
He's going to make sure of that.
Yeah, she on the clock though. She know. He know it's 9 o'clock. Wait a minute. Hold up. Your phone going off. Hold on.
Y'all is terrible, man.
If you want to know who left at 8:30,
Y'all go here with the AC.
That's why you gotta get out of here on time.
Please always tell a friend.
That's that G
bring a
money.
friend. If you got the food, if you don't got the food, straight talk.
Ain't nobody posting, so hello food. We ain't feeding none of them.
It's appreciated, good.
Shit, you gonna be here either way.
Okay.
Sugar Bear in the building.
Girl,
Jewish money starts HBCU.
Motherfucker. That's true.
You remember that, right? You remember that?
True. Most of these organizations.
Come on, man. Start about Jewish money. Y'all terrible, boy. HBCUs are started by Jewish money, ma'am.
Yeah, how about
That's
that?
it.
All right, sign off.
What do it matter?
Close it down.
Sweetheart.
This
Okay,
has
let me ask you
been
this.
too great. I want you to leave these folks alone. Y'all go home. Just go home. He's not going to stop. I'm
You
going
asked
to
the
stop
question.
him. Hey, y'all, thank you for tuning in. It's your girl, Miss B, Big Dave, Tuesday to Dawn. We out. Peace. Come on.